Chidi's apartment in Asekoro felt suffocating that night, the ceiling fans hum a weak counterpoint to the storm in his mind. Amara's pale face lingered, her small body a silent accusation against Kemi's betrayal. The diazepam bottle, the alcohol scent on a 5-year-old's breath, it was too much. He sat on his couch, the glow of a single lamp casting shadows, his phone clutched tightly. He needed to act, but the path was unclear, each option heavy with consequence. The next morning, Chidi met Aisha at a cafe in Metoma, a sleek spot where professionals sipped overpriced coffee amid Abuja's elite. Aisha, a social worker with a sharp mind, listened as Chidi poured out the story, Amara's constant sleep, the pills hidden behind clothes, the akpiteshi scent. Her expression darkened, her fingers tightening around her tea mug. "This is abuse, Chidi," she said, her voice low. "You have to report it, but it's not simple. Kemi's desperate, not evil. She's likely drowning in her own struggles. But Amara's safety is the priority." Chidi nodded, his throat tight. Reporting Kemi could unravel her life. Nigeria's child welfare system was a labyrinth, overcrowded orphanages, underfunded agencies, stories of children lost in bureaucracy. He'd read about foster homes in Abuja, where kids sometimes faced worse neglect. But doing nothing felt like complicity. "What if reporting makes it worse for her?" he asked, his voice low. Aisha leaned forward, her eyes steady. "You're right to worry. The system's flawed, and Kemi's situation, single mother, no support, makes her vulnerable. But you can't ignore this. Find someone in her family who cares about Amara. They might step in before it escalates." Chidi's mind raced to Kemi's stories, fragments shared over late-night calls. She'd mentioned her mother, Ngozi, in Gwagwalada, a woman who'd raised her alone after her father's death in a road accident. Chidi had seen Ngozi's number in Kemi's phone once, left on the table during a visit. It was a long shot, but it felt safer than the authorities. That evening, he paced his apartment, the city's hum filtering through Okodas, vendors, life moving on. He dialed the number, his heart pounding. Ngozi's voice came through, warm but weary. "Hello," she said, cautious. Chidi took a breath, then explained, Amara's sleep, the diazepam, the alcohol scent, Kemi's tearful confession. Each word felt like a stone dropped into a still pond. Ngozi's breath caught, a soft gasp. "My God," she whispered. "I didn't know it was this bad." Her voice broke, and Chidi heard her adjust her wrapper, as if bracing herself. "Kemi never told me. I thought Amara was just quiet." Chidi's heart ached at her pain. "Can you help her?" he asked. "Amara needs someone." Ngozi was silent, then said, "I'm coming to Abuja next week. I'll take care of my granddaughter." "Thank you, Chidi. God bless you." Her voice trembled with gratitude and grief. Chidi hung up, his heart heavy but hopeful. He no longer loved Kemi, not after this, but Amara deserved better. The next days were a blur. At work, his focus faltered, his spreadsheet a jumble as he checked his phone for Ngozi's updates. His boss, noticing his distraction, pulled him aside, but Chidi brushed it off, unable to explain. He confided in his sister, Amoka, over dinner in Kubwa. Her twins played nearby, their laughter a stark contrast to Amara's silence. Amoka's face hardened as he spoke. "You did the right thing," she said. "That child needs someone to fight for her. Kemi's lost her way, but Amara shouldn't pay the price." Her words strengthened him, but the weight was agonizing. On the seventh day, Ngozi texted, she'd arrived in Abuja and would meet him at Kemi's apartment. Chidi exhaled, a weight lifting. He drove through the city's chaotic traffic, past roadside vendors and gleaming buildings, a flicker of hope growing. Abuja's contrast, wealth and struggle, mirrored his turmoil, but Amara's future was worth fighting for. He thought of his YouTube channel, a new project where he shared snippets of his life, his thoughts on community. Maybe one day, he'd tell Amara's story, a call to action for others to see the unseen. Aisha's advice lingered as Chidi drove home, Abuja's traffic a chaotic backdrop. He thought of his YouTube channel, started to share data tips, now a platform for advocacy ideas. Could he tell Amara's story one day, anonymized, to raise awareness? He imagined a video, his voice steady, kids are suffering in silence. We can help. At Amoka's house, her twins' laughter contrasted with Amara's stillness. Amoka urged action. You're her voice now, she said. Chidi nodded, her support grounding him. He called Ngozi again, confirming her arrival, his hope tempered by fear of failure. Kemi sat on her bed, the diazepam bottle in her hand, its weight heavier than its size. The apartment was quiet, save for Garki's evening traffic hum. Amara was asleep, her small form a silent rebuke. Kemi's tears fell, each a confession of failure. She hadn't always been this way. 6 years ago, she was a polytechnic student in Abuja, sketching vibrant dresses inspired by Ankara patterns, dreaming of a boutique in Wuse. At 26, Emeka's charm swept her away, but he vanished when she told him she was pregnant, leaving her alone, her sketchbooks gathering dust. Motherhood was relentless. Amara was her joy, a bright child with a quick laugh, but survival meant sewing until her back ached, selling fabrics in Wuse Market under a scorching sun. Men came and went. Musa, a trader, promised rent money but complained about Amara's chatter. Desperate, Kemi gave her cough syrup to calm her. It worked too well, quieting her for hours. When Musa left, citing business troubles, the habit stuck. Then came Chidi, kind and steady, a data analyst who listened and brought gifts for Amara. Kemi saw a future, but Amara's clinginess threatened it. Afraid of losing him, she turned to diazepam, slipping small doses into Amara's juice. Guilt clawed at her, but fear of another man leaving was stronger. She told herself it was temporary, to secure their relationship. She never meant to harm Amara, only to hold on to a chance at stability. Chidi's confrontation shattered her illusion. His voice, "She's 5, Kemi," echoed in her mind. She denied the alcohol, panicked by the accusation. Had she grabbed Akpiteshi once, mistaking it for syrup in her exhaustion? The possibility horrified her. She'd wanted love, not this shame. Now, with Ngozi's arrival looming, Kemi's world was unraveling. She thought of her mother, who'd raised her alone in Gwagwalada, working 2 jobs, selling pepper soup, cleaning offices, to keep her in school. Would she understand? Kemi doubted it. She clutched the pill bottle, tears falling onto the label. The market had been brutal that day, customers haggling, her profits thin. She'd sewn late, her fingers sore, thinking of Amara's smile, now dimmed by her choices. The apartment felt smaller, the walls closing in. Outside, Abuja's nightlife lingered, music from a bar, neighbors' chatter, but Kemi was alone with her guilt. She needed to make this right, but how? She thought of counseling, a distant idea from a friend's advice, but fear held her back. What if they took Amara for good? She wiped her tears, resolving to face her mother's judgment, to fight for her daughter, even if it meant facing her own failures. Kemi's market days were grueling. Her stall in was a battleground of haggling and heat. She recalled her polytechnic dreams, sketching late at night, Amara asleep nearby. Emeka's betrayal had crushed her, but motherhood was harder, customers shortchanging her, Amara's needs endless. She tried dating before Musa, each man leaving when Amara's presence overwhelmed. The cough syrup started as a desperate act, the diazepam a darker step. She hated herself, but Chidi's kindness was a lifeline she couldn't lose. Now, facing her mother's arrival, she feared losing Amara too. She vowed to try counseling, to fight for redemption. Mom and Ngozi arrived in Abuja a week after Chidi's call, her wrapper tied neatly, her face etched with determination and sorrow. The bus from Gwagwalada had been delayed by traffic, and she stood at Kemi's apartment door, her small bag slung over her shoulder. Chidi was there, his presence a quiet anchor. Amara was awake, sitting on the floor with Chidi's crayons, coloring an elephant with uneven strokes. Her face was pale, her movements sluggish. Mom and Ngozi's eyes filled with tears as she knelt beside her. Amara, my love, she whispered, brushing her hair. Amara's faint smile pierced Chidi's heart. Mom and Ngozi stood, turning to Kemi, who hovered near the stove, twisting a dishcloth. How could you do this to your own child? Her voice cut through the room. Kemi's face crumpled, tears spilling. Mama, I didn't mean to hurt her, she said. I was scared. Men left me because of her. I thought if she was quiet, Chidi would stay. Her voice broke, and she sank onto a stool. Chidi stood silently, his gaze shifting between Kemi's despair and Amara's quiet focus. Mama Ngozi's face was a storm. Pills, Kemi. For adults. And alcohol. What were you thinking? Kemi denied the alcohol, her voice desperate. It was just the tablets, small doses. I swear. But her eyes darted to the juice bottle, and Chidi saw Mama Ngozi's doubt. He'd smelled the bitterness in the juice, a truth Kemi couldn't fully deny. This stops now, Mama Ngozi said. Amara is coming with me to Gwagwalada. She needs safety, and you need help. Kemi's sobs grew louder, but she nodded, her resistance crumbling. Aisha arrived, her social worker's badge clipped to her blouse. She'd agreed to help, ensuring Amara's safety without authorities yet. She sat with Mama Ngozi, discussing a Lugbe community program where Amara could attend school and get medical checkups. The clinic will ensure she's healthy, Aisha said. No lasting damage from the sedatives. Mama Ngozi nodded, her hand on Amara's shoulder. Kemi listened, her tears slowing. Aisha spoke gently but firmly. Kemi, counseling is available. You can rebuild, but you must face this. Kemi nodded, whispering, I want to be better for her. When it was time to leave, Mama Ngozi packed Amara's bag, coloring book, clothes, Chidi's door. Amara clutched the book, asking Chidi, will you come see me? He knelt, forcing a smile. I will, he said, his voice thick. As they left, Mama Ngozi guiding Amara, Chidi felt a weight lift, but another settled. His relationship with Kemi was over, but Amara was safe. Driving through Abuja's evening streets, past vendors and compounds, he felt the city's pulse, a reminder that life went on, but Amara's story had changed him forever. Mama Ngozi's arrival shifted the room's air. Amara's faint smile as she colored broke Chidi's heart. She deserved more than this half-life. Aisha's plan was thorough, detailing school and clinic visits. Kemi's tears slowed as she listened, her resolve flickering. "I'll do better," she whispered. Chidi watched Amara pack, her small hands clutching the door. Her question, "Will you come see me?" haunted him as he drove away, Abuja's lights ablur. He'd keep his promise, no matter what. 6 months later, Chidi stood outside Ngozi's house in Gwagwalada, a concrete structure surrounded by mango trees. Amara's laughter carried from inside, a bright sound cutting through the heat. Chidi carried storybooks and a math workbook for Amara, now 6 and thriving. Ngozi opened the door, her smile warm. "Chidi, you came," she said. Amara ran to him, calling, "Uncle Chidi," her shyness gone. She hugged his legs, and he handed her the books, her excitement warming him. The house was alive with Amara's presence, drawings pinned to walls, a table cluttered with crayons. Over jollof rice, Ngozi shared updates. "She's top of her class in Lugbe," she said. "The clinic says she's healthy, no damage from before." Chidi nodded, relief washing over him. Amara showed him a drawing of a mango tree, her eyes bright. He visited monthly, each trip a reminder of why he'd acted, her laughter, her chatter, her love for learning. Abuja's struggle stayed with Chidi. In a city of towers and markets, children like Amara fell through cracks. Inspired, he volunteered with Aisha's NGO, running workshops for single mothers in Lugbe and Wuse. "You're not alone," he told them, sharing resources. Kemi was rebuilding, her tailoring business growing. She visited Amara weekly, their bond healing. Chidi kept his distance, their past heavy, but he was glad for her progress. His own life shifted. At work, his focus returned, but his priorities changed. He advocated for better support systems, writing proposals for the NGO. Driving through Abuja's skyline, he felt pride. He hadn't changed the world, but he changed Amara's. That was enough. Chidi's NGO work grew, his weekends filled with workshops. At one, a mother thanked him, her story echoing Kemi's. Amara's school reports glowed, math awards, choir solos. Chidi's YouTube channel gained traction, his videos on child welfare resonating. Kemi's visits to Amara were consistent, her tailoring shop a small success. Chidi felt hope, his purpose clear. Abuja's challenges remained, but Amara's smile was proof of progress.